Hello my fellow gangsters. So Sabin Choi asks about how to input games to a phone. Adrian Rivera asks having a joystick on Android devices. AppMaker asks how we can control a character on an Android phone. So I'm going to go through how to just publish a build of a game onto an Android device, and I've got this Samsung Galaxy Tab 3 I think it's called. And then once we have that working, then I will use the project that we did before in a previous tutorial of the third-person character controller tutorial where we have Unity Chan running around and stuff. We'll just port that onto Android. So I'm just going to create a new project, and for asset packages I want cameras, characters, and prototyping. So we'll create that. So we've got an editor here that already has cross-platform input in it, and cameras, characters, and a bunch of stuff. And if you don't have those, you can go to the Unity download archive, and I'm on 5.3.4, and there's the standard assets right there. And then you would just go assets, import package, cameras, characters, prototyping. So if you go to edit, preferences, external tools, I already have these things installed, but right here you need the Android SDK, and right here you need the Java development kit thing. So there's a download link right beside them. So first do the Java one, I believe. I think it has to be installed first, or the Android one won't install. So if you click that, then you just get Java development kit. And then I'm on Windows 10, so I would just download this thing. And when you install it, make sure you pay attention to the actual install folder that it's installed in. And then on here you go to browse, and you have to actually find the folder. So for me, it's on my C drive, program files, Java, jdk dot blah blah blah. That's the folder you want to choose. And then after that you want to get the Android software development kit. So download that. And I don't think you need this studio package. I actually got SDK tools only, and I used this thing and ran that. And then same thing, make sure that you know where the file actually installed, or where the program is installed. And then here's where mine is. It's my name, app data, local Android SDK. That's the folder for that. And so if you have your Android device plugged in with the USB, and it might already have the USB drivers installed, but this is the hard part, is having the right USB drivers. So if you don't automatically have them, then go to the internet. I'll put a link under the video for the Google USB driver. So you need that if you're using a Google Nexus device. I'm not, so I clicked on OEM USB drivers, and then mine's a Samsung, so there's all these different names. So this is the hard part, is actually finding the right driver. So mine's a Samsung, so I went here, and then mine's a Galaxy Tab, Wi-Fi, and then the model number I had to go into I had to go find it on the actual device. So on here, for me, I went to the apps section, and then there was a settings thing, and then I scrolled down to the bottom and went to about device, and it had a model number SMT110. So then I found the model number and in here, and went through all the crap to find the plugin to download it, but it's going to be different for everyone's device. So that's the hard part. I can't help you too much with that part. Hopefully you can find the right USB plugins. And then after you have the USB stuff plugged in and everything, if you go into the settings on your device and then scroll to the bottom, and there's about device, and you scroll to the bottom of that, and there's build number, and you tap your finger on the build number a bunch of times, it will let you go into a developer mode, and then you do that, and now there's this developer options thing, and inside the developer options there's USB debugging. So you have to check on USB debugging and then choose yes that you want to trust your computer. And that will let you play test on the device while you're inside the Unity editor. If that part doesn't work, that means that you don't have your USB drivers working, which is the hardest part. And also, if it doesn't work, it probably doesn't matter. You can still make a build and you can still get it on your device and still play the game. You just can't test it in the editor. So let's just quickly create something that we can test on the Android. So let's go hierarchy window, create 3D object plane, and I'm going to set the Z scale to like 100, and everything else is just zeros and ones. And let's go to the prototyping folder and find some material. Let's put navy grid on there, I guess. And let's make that have a tile of Y of like 100, I guess, in the first map, not the secondary. So now that's kind of got something to look at. And inside the prototyping thing, with prefabs, let's grab some blocks and put them in the positive on the Z-axis. So we're going to start our player over here somewhere and just have some things, let's grab some pillars, I guess. Doesn't really matter what the level looks like, just something to kind of know that you're moving. And so go to characters, rollerball, prefabs, rollerball, drag that guy in. Let's just reset his position and move him up a little bit. And then let's just press play. He should move with the arrow keys. And if he does not move properly, go to Edit, Project Settings, Input, click the little gear and choose Reset, because maybe the inputs are messed up. And let's just right-click the main camera and delete it, and then go to our Cameras folder, Prefabs, Multipurpose Camera Rig, and I'm just going to tell it not to rotate, so turn speed 0, and let's just press play. So now I've just got like a really quick little game thing. Spacebar is a jump. And let's just create a folder for our scenes. Scenes, file, save scene as, save scene as scene 01, I guess. And I should have put it inside the scenes folder. And then let's go file, build settings, and then click on Android and add the open scene. And let's go switch platform. So now we're on the Android platform. Let's go to standard assets, cross-platform input, prefabs, mobile tilt control rig. Let's drag that in. If you were to go mobile, input is disabled, and press play. We've got arrow keys, but if you go mobile input is enabled, then it says you need to use the Unity remote app on a connected device, blah blah blah. So on the Google Play Store, you need to download the Unity remote app. So I'm using Unity Remote 4, and you open that, and you have this thing running, and hopefully your USB drivers actually work. and also this app doesn't always work very well. But if you have that on, and then you go to Edit, Project Settings, Editor, and on here, instead of none, you choose any Android device, and then press play. It should show stuff on here, and now you can use your device to scroll around. For me, the screen's flipping around, so if I go to Edit or File, Build Settings, and then click Player Settings, this auto rotation stuff, I'm just going to change it to landscape right. So now if I play, I can tilt, and now I've got kind of a little game thing going on. So if this part doesn't work for you, you might be able to skip it and just make a build onto your device. So if you go File, Build Settings, and then you click on Player Settings, you want to have a company name, so just put your name or whatever you want there, and then the name of this game, whatever, man. And then down in other settings, you want to have the exact same name for bundle identifier. So company name, so com.company name spelled exactly the same, case sensitive, like identical, and then product name goes right there. And then if you want to have like an icon for your app, you can choose a picture. I guess I'll just use that. And then if you go and you're plugged in and everything, go build and run. Just save it as whatever it should build, and then it should just automatically open up on your device. And then after you play it, if you go into apps, it should still be on there, and it should have the little icon that you chose. So for me, it's working. Yeah, I got like a little game running on here now. But of course, if you fall off the edge, you just fall forever, and there's like no way to reset. So let's make a button for resetting. And let's make a button for jumping too. So if you go Create UI Button, it's going to make a canvas for you to put the button in. And on the canvas, you can go to where it has constant pixel size, choose Scale with Screen, and for the match, make that 0.5, and that will make things scale with the screen no matter what size it is and kind of look the same. So then on our button here, if you go to this thing in the top left of the inspector window and click on it, I'm holding Alt and Shift and then clicking the top right one. And that moves it to the top right and makes its anchor point in the top right. And I'm just going to change its size to like 100 by 100. And inside the button, I'm just going to delete the text. And I think I'm going to move it down a bit and to the left, so -10, -10. And it has an image here. I'm going to change the source image to this one that looks like a reset button. So there's our reset button, and I'll right click the canvas and go UI button for another one, and just do the same thing. Click on this thing here, Alt Shift, and I'll go to the bottom right, I guess. I'm going to make it 100 by 100 and -10x and +10y, and this will be our jump button. So for that one, for the source image, just pick one that looks kind of like a jump thing, and I'll go inside it, right click the text and delete it. So now you got these two buttons here, and I'll show how to make it so that you can call a function inside some code from the buttons. So we've got our roller ball, and he has a script inside of him called ball, so let's double click that, and then we'll just create some public functions that we can call from the buttons. So as long as they're public, then things from outside can call them. So inside this ball script, there's a bunch of not very much stuff. So after the last function, let's just make a public void press jump and public void press reset. And let's just grab, so they have some stuff going on here where they have, if it's on the ground and you're pressing jump, then it makes it move up. So let's just steal that, copy that and put it inside the jump. And we don't care about this part. We just check if you're on the ground, and then we just add some force, and we're not going to use that stuff. We'll just use vector 3 up and put 300, whatever number, doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be a good jump, we're just checking how to press a button, basically. And then reset, we're going to use, so using Unity engine dot scene management, and then we'll have scene manager dot load scene 0, so the very first scene that exists. So that'll just reload when we press that one. So there's press jump, press reset. We're inside the ball script on the roller ball. So save that, and then so if we go to our canvas, so our first button is the reset button. So down on here he's got a on click. So we'll just click this little plus, and when we click that button, we want to go onto the roller ball. So we'll drag that on here, and then we'll go onto the script called ball that's on the roller ball. And these are all the public functions that we can call. So we want to do press reset, right? So that's pretty simple. Press reset right there. So then on the other button, we'll go plus, on the roller ball, ball script, press jump. And now if we go play, and we have, whoa, I need to have that program Unity for remote open and play. So I can jump by pressing that thing, and if I fall and there's nothing I can do, then I can go reset. And the lighting gets screwed up, I have no idea why, but doesn't really matter. You know how to do buttons now. And if you make a build, so stop that and go File, Build and Run. And yeah, now I got a little mobile game, and if I reset on here, the lighting still works. So that was just a weird glitch in the editor, so it doesn't really matter. So now you know how to make a Android build of a thing. Right after a word from our sponsors, which is me, I'm the sponsor, I'll show you how to port Unity Chan over onto this pretty easily.
Introducing the Fun Car Kit. It includes this music track, over 5 cars, beautiful environment assets, and extra scripts. Tune handling and camera settings without writing any code. Even import your own cars, and of course, it's mobile friendly. Start your racing game today. Click the link in the description.
Okay, so this was that third-person character thing that we did before, and she ran around and all that stuff. So since we've already done all the setup to make make it work, we can go File, Build Settings, and just go Android, switch platform. So we switched it to the Android platform, and then you go Assets, Import Package, Cross-Platform Input, and just import that. And on UnityChan, we already use cross-platform input. So there's third-person user control. If you go inside there, you can see inside of her, there's using standard assets cross-platform input, so she's already using it. And instead of when you would usually type input.getAccess horizontal, it's got cross-platform input manager.getAccess. So she's already set up to work with this thing. So if you go to cross-platform input, prefabs, there is a mobile single stick control. You can drag that in. And then if you have your device plugged in and set up and everything just like before, and you're in Unity Remote 4, edit, project settings, editor, and you choose device, any Android device. And I'm also going to go build settings, player settings, and resolution presentation. I'm not going to let it rotate. Landscape right. I'm also going to give it some names right away. Hibby Games, call it whatever you want. Mobile Chan, and then publisher or other settings. Com.exactly spelled the same. Company name, and then the app name. Just gonna do that. And then, so if we press play here, she's got this joystick, so I can already run around without actually doing anything, and there's a jump button. I'm just gonna quickly make a really crappy, make her walk towards the screen. That's not a good angle. I'm just gonna make a really crappy little app icon with snipping tool. Boom. Save as, whatever. Capture, no matter. And close that. And go to my desktop, and I'm just gonna drag that into our project, and then go to build settings, player settings, and just select that as our little icon. I think we're good. Just go build and run. Mobile Chan. And looks like we got ourselves some Unity Mobile Chan action going on here. Woo! I'm Unity Chan Mobile Edition. Bam! So there you go. Now you can make mobile apps. Peace out, my gangsters. I think my camera broke during this recording, so I don't even know if it's worked, but hopefully it did. Peace out, yo.